muryar jama'a da safiya za ka ji mu da rana ma za ka ji mu wannan da yammaci za ka ji mu na yi bayan mu da ka gamo radio da shaje ta yanci zo ki ce zo ka ce zo ka faɗi naka makaranta ku zo ku ce za mu ji ku siyasa ku zo ku ce za mu ji ku yan kasuwa ku zo ku ce za mu ji ku kowa da kowa ya ce za mu ji shi
Freedom pop. Freedom. This is Freedom Global News.
United Nations Children's Fund says Nigeria is at an extremely high risk of climate change impact.
This is Freedom.
The federal government says work on Abuja-Kaduna Kano Highway has been suspended over insecurity. Emir of Gaya pleads with farmers and cattle herders to maintain peace and tranquility. And on the phone scene, Ibrahim Traore sworn in as Burkina Faso interim president.
Freedom Global News.
Good evening, you listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. I am Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Today is the 21st of October 2022, which is equivalent to the 25th of Rabiul Awwal 1444 after Hijri. And now the news in full. The United Nations Children's Fund UNICEF has revealed that the fund's Children's Climate Risk Index (CCRI) has shown that Nigeria is considered at extremely high risk of the impacts of climate change, as the country is ranking second out of 163 countries. This was made known by UNICEF representative in Nigeria, Christian Munduate, in a statement issued and signed by Jeffrey Njoku of the fund's communication unit. According to the statement, children in extremely high-risk countries face a deadly combination of exposure to multiple climate and environmental shocks combined with high levels of underlying child vulnerability due to inadequate essential services such as water and sanitation, healthcare, and education. The statement added that more than 2.5 million people in Nigeria are in need of humanitarian assistance, and 60% of which are children that are at increased risk of waterborne diseases, drowning, and malnutrition due to the most severe flooding in the past decade. UNICEF further stated that the floods are adding another layer of complexity to an already precarious humanitarian situation in the country, noting that immediate priority needs for children include health, water, sanitation, and hygiene, as well as shelter and food. The federal government said the rehabilitation of the Abuja-Kaduna Kano Highway was suspended due to security threat after the March 2022 train attack. The Minister of State for Works and Housing, Umar Ibrahim El-Yakub, made the disclosure during the inspection of the road to Kaduna Eastern Bypass. In a statement today by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Blessing Laurie Adams, El-Yakub said, contrary to the speculations that the contract was abandoned, work would soon resume due to improved security on the road. Motorists had decried the state of the first section of the Abuja-Kaduna Highway, which links Abuja to Kaduna State. The minister said palliative work was being done after it was discovered that the road had deteriorated due to the effect of rainfall. Work will soon resume fully on the road because of the obvious improvement in security. Along the sporting arena, the Minister of Youth and Sports Development, Sunday Dare, has called on youth to take advantage of the sporting facilities provided at the grassroots to develop their budding talents. Mamsan Uba has details of this and other sports updates.
The Minister Minister of Youth and Sport Development Sunday Dari said this in a statement signed by Muhammad Manga, Director Press and Public Relations of the Ministry in Abuja. The minister made the call during the official commissioning of a 500-capacity mini stadium in Ode Aremo, Oyo State. He also said that the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration had in the last 7 years committed much resources into the rehabilitation of moribund sporting facilities as well as building of new ones across the country. Meanwhile, Edo State Governor Godwin Obaseki has tasked the Executive Committee of the Nigeria Football Federation, headed by Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau, to inform the values of transparency, openness, and the inclusiveness in running the game in the country, and to not shy away from taking stern measures to curb the menace of hooliganism in the domestic league. The NFF president expressed appreciation to the Edo State government for hosting the historic NFF Elected General Assembly in Benin City on September 30. Similarly, Nigeria's under-17 women's national team, the Flamingos, beat the United States of America side in the quarterfinals of the ongoing India 2022 under-17 women's World Cup today. The Flamingos defeated the US on penalty to reach the semi-final. After a 1-1 draw, the Nigerian women team beat their US opponent 4-3 on the penalty. In another update, Manchester United manager Eric Ten Hag confirmed that Cristiano Ronaldo refused to come on as a substitute during Wednesday's win against Tottenham, saying there had to be consequences for his behavior. Ronaldo headed down to the tournament before the final whistle and demanded a hasty departure from Old Trafford. And on tennis, two-time Grand Slam champion Simona Halep has been provisionally suspended from tennis after testing positive for a banned substance. The former world #1 provided a sample which tested positive for rosuvastatin at August US Open. Rosuvastatin is an anti-anemia drug which stimulates the production of red blood cells in the body. Muhammad Sani Uba, Freedom Radio.
The Global News is coming to you from Freedom Radio 99.5 FM. You can send your comments, opinions, and watch us live on Freedom Radio Nigeria on Facebook.com. You can get the link to the page on our website, freedomradionig.com, or call us through this number 082 444163. Welcome back. You still listen to Freedom Global News on 99.5 FM. The Emir of Gaya Alhaji Dr. Aliyu Ibrahim Abdulkader pleads with farmers and cattle herders to maintain peace and tranquility towards living peaceful with one another. The Emir made this known while briefing the information officer of the Emirate, Aminu Ahmed Renu, at his palace. Dr. Aliyu Ibrahim, who spoke through the senior councillor of the Emirate Bangaya, Alhaji Mansour Ibrahim, appealed to the cattle herders to avoid crossing farmers' farmlands with their cattle, and farmers should harvest their crops on time to allow herders to rear their cattle. The Emir then commended the entire people of the Emirate for the cooperation and support given to the development of the Emirate and calls on them to maintain peace and continuously pray for the sustainability of peace and harmony in the Emirate, state and country at large. The Kano State University of Science and Technology Coast Ubudil, which was recently approved to be renamed as Aliko Dangote University of Science and Technology, said the renaming comes at a right time considering Alhaji Aliko Dangote's support to the university. The Vice-Chancellor of the institution, Professor Shehu Alhaji Musa, made this known in an interview with Newsnet today. He added that Alhaji Aliko Dangote, as the Chancellor of the university, has provided various infrastructural projects worth billions of naira.
The Chancellor, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, has done remarkably well in the university by constructing two gigantic hostels, one for male and one for female each, with a capacity of 500 normal accommodation capacity. He has also provided a 650 kVA generator to the university. He has provided 1000 kVA generator to the university, 650 kVA generator. He has connected the university with national integrated power projects in Wudil Station that cost more than 250 million naira to the university. Has also pledged to support the university in very many areas.
The Vice-Chancellor also said the university has also chronicled tremendous development during his 9-year stretch.
One when I assumed duty as the Vice Chancellor of this great university, I was the only full-fledged professor of the university. So far, the university have produced over 117 professors and associate professors. We have so far trained over 300 academic staff of the university at PhD level. Of those who have trained at master's level have outweighed this 300, and those who have trained at first degree level and diploma level will be multiple of this. I want to say thank you to Dr. Lamar Ganduje. He has given us an opportunity to recruit over 700 academic staff.
Correspondent Abul Hassan Fakir reports that Professor Sheikh Alhaji Musa also commended the philanthropists in the state who are paying the school fees for students in need. Ministry Ahmadu Rufai, who was Sultan of Sokoto and sworn in on the 21st of October 1867 and reigned to 1873. He succeeded Ahmad Bello, who reigned for 11 months. Rufai's reign was distinguished for being peaceful. Amina Mukhtar Iyakase has more on this.
Rufai was the son of Usman Danfodio. He spent most of his early life in a ribat at Silami on the frontiers of Argungun. An attack by the Kebba later drove him out of Silami, but he stayed out of the frontier in Tozo. He was likely selected Amir al-Muminin as a compromise between the claims of the son of Muhammad Bello and Abu Bakr Atiku. During his tenure, he made peace with the Kebba, who were a thorn on the sides of the Fulani, by arranging a truce with the Sultan of Argungun, Abdullahi Toga. The truce recognized the independence of Kebbi and their rights to own the remaining lands the Kebba had recovered. His reign was noted as being uneventful in terms of campaigns and battles. There were few expeditions and raids, but Sokoto's prosperity did not depend on raids anymore as long as emirs sent their presents and share of booty and tax. Meanwhile, a lion which escaped from its cage in Kano Zoological Garden returned to its cage on 21st October. The lion, valued at 7 million, escaped by forcing its way into a cage where goats were kept and consumed all the goats. Worried by the danger posed by the lion to Kano residents, it was reported that the state governor, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, gave a directive for the lion to be shot on sight. While the experts were preparing to resume search, and the lion voluntarily returned to its cage. Amina Mukhtar Kasey, Freedom Radio.
And in business, we have Abdurrahman Hamis Namadina with updates.
The International Monetary Fund said Nigeria and other countries in the sub-Saharan African region risk social and political instability and revenant food insecurity because of rising inflation. According to the IMF, inflation has nearly doubled the pre-pandemic levels in the region. Adding that, while there is a significant difference between countries, the media inflation rate in the region increased to almost 9% in August. It said even though the rising has been less dramatic than in other parts of the world and the drivers are different, inflation is nearly doubled pre-pandemic levels, risking social and political instability. It stated that, despite an economic rebound in 2021, the fallout from the pandemic has kept domestic economic activity in the region relatively muted, and it expects growth to slow this year. The Washington-based lender stated that, unlike richer countries in other regions, most countries in the region lack the needed resources to support and stimulate growth. Listing some of the causes of the region's inflation, it said inflation in Nigeria and other sub-Saharan African countries was being driven less by economic activity and more by external developments. Abdurrahman Hamis Namadina, Freedom Radio.
And on the phone, Ibrahim Traore has been sworn in as interim president of Burkina Faso several weeks after Paul Henry Sandaogo Damiba was removed in a coup. Tarazana reports.
At a ceremony, Traore pledged support for a transition leading to elections in July 2024 as he took the oath of office in the capital Ouagadougou under tight security. After taking the oath, Traore, dressed in military fatigues and a scarf with the country's national colors, said they are confronted with a security and humanitarian crisis without precedent. He added that their aims are none other than the reconquest of territory occupied by the hordes of terrorists, noting Burkina's existence is in danger. Traore led disgruntled junior officers on September 30th in the second coup in 8 months in the West African country. Damiba had himself seized power only in January, forcing out Burkina Faso's last elected president, Marc Christian Kabore. The official investiture followed an announcement earlier this week by the Constitutional Council, which said the 34-year-old Traore had been designated as President of the Transition, Head of State, Supreme Chief of the National Armed Forces by a national meeting of the country's forces. In its statement on Wednesday, the council said it officially took note of Damiba's resignation and the vacancy of the presidency. Burkina Faso had witnessed political instability amid anger at failures to stem a 7-year armed uprising that has claimed thousands of lives and driven nearly 2 million people from their homes. Zara Zanna, Freedom Radio.
And with this, we've come to the end of today's Global News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Hauwa Adamu Kiyawa. Have a wonderful evening.
This is Freedom.